Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning. I'm Emmanuel Concha. I'm gonna be a little faster because I put so many slides and I have just a little time. But I'm gonna explain to you instrument approaches, DA versus MDA briefing. This is gonna be an FAA check reg scenario, like a mock check reg. We're gonna go over altitude management, decision making, and flight discipline. We're gonna go over the pay framework, which is pretty much pre-briefing and analyzing that the pilot, aircraft, and environment and external pressure. When it comes to the pilot, we're gonna do the safe checklist. I'm not gonna go over into detail because of the time, but it's pretty much in a few words evaluating that the pilot is physically well. There is not much stress, fatigue. That the pilot is IFR current as well. When it comes to the aircraft, we're gonna pretty much inspect the avionics, system redundancy, and all the IFR required flying instruments are current as well. Like for example, the VOR checking that is has been calibrated within 30 days. Like, for example, when it comes to the mission trip, we're gonna plan the route parameters, verifying that we have adequate fuel reserves. We're gonna check the airport limitations and if we need to file an alternate or not, and that is defined because of the environment. We're gonna check if we have any convective activity. We're gonna check for freezing level, wind shear, etc., etc. External pressure. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a lot of pressure here because it's a check rate. So we will have the get the 80s or pass the check rate 80s. But always remembering that the gummies or go around is always an option. The flight instrument approach scenario, we're gonna brief two approach profiles on the chart because an ILS, which is a precision approach, utilize the vertical uh, glide path and the decision altitude is 200. The second one will be localizer only. Since we don't have the vertical guidance, it's gonna be a lateral tracking down only, and the MDA will be 500 feet. We're gonna make sure that we follow all the cockpit flow and we have the miss approach procedure for each one. Pretty much big differences between DA and MDA. The DA is for precision approaches, which is the ILS. LPV, LNAV, VNAV could be considered a precision approach, but the FAA has not recognized it. For check rate purposes only, we're gonna assume or say that LPV and LNAV, VNAV qualify for precision approaches as well. In the other hand, we have non-precision approaches, which is minimum descent altitude. We have localizer, VOR, GPS, LNAV, for example. On the precision approach, we have the glide path. We have a stabilized this continuous descent, no step downs, and up to reaching minimums, we either land or go missed. On the non-precision side, is dive and drive, like a step down thing, and we need to level off, fly to the missed approach point, and then go missed. Okay, descent below minimums on 491 75. In a few words, we have that no pilot may operate below DA unless all three requirements are met, which is normal position, pretty much normal stable descent. We have the flight visibility established on the approach plate, and that we have runway environment, that we have at least one specified visual reference. I'm gonna not gonna go in detail of what is that, but it's pretty much any clue that the runway is inside. Precision approaches are ground based. Well, for ILS, it's a ground based radio beams provide lateral and vertical guidance. For APV or LPV, we have satellite based approach offering the glide path as well with the vertical guidance. For non precision approaches, we have the MDA, like I said before, is lateral guides only, and of course we don't have any glide path. I put a few comparison chart over here. We can see that the ILS gets you the lowest and localizer because we don't have any anything to let us know how high or low we are, we need to be higher. Consequences of NDA violation: CFIT or control flight into terrain. We have MDA like a hard floor per se because we cannot glide like a precision approach because it removes the safety or the minimums for obstacle clearance. Pretty much in a few words, we cannot glide below the MDA because we have no guarantee of terrain clearance. In doing so, while violating so on 4199 175, we as well find out that there is going to be legal consequences, even risking the pilot certification. And of course, we could crash. Why non precision approach requires leveling off? Well, kind of like I explained before, because it removes the obstacle clearance. But if we go close to our minimums for MDA, we need to level off and then go miss. Contrary to the DA, that once we hit the decision altitude, we either land or go miss. So there is no leveling off for that. Finally, some biblical wisdom: give careful thought to the paths of your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Proverbs 4:26. This pretty much assimilate with the DA and MDA, that they represent a careful design, protective pathways, and by follow them or obeying those limitations, we do use good biblical stewardship, wisdom, and after caution with those. My references are pretty much the FAA 2020 for the instrument flight handbook, as well I use the procedure handbook and the FAR. And finally, my image sources, and that's it, guys. Have a great day.